Hi there, MJ.
Hey, Mike.
Good to see you again.
Yep.
So, this is it, huh?
Yeah.
Today is our last session. I've been bringing this up for a little while now because I want both of us to feel that we're ready for this. And I want to just check in a little bit and see how everything's going with you. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
Great. I have some notes here. I've had my notes out before, and I just want to remind you that you have access to all of these. You know, it's not just for me. If you ever want to see anything that I'm writing down, and these are just for me. You know, I'm not going to be showing these to anyone around or anything like that.
Right.
Great.
Cool.
Okay, so the last time that we talked, we were talking about how you were going to be subletting your friend's house.
Yes.
And how did that go? Did that work out for you?
Yeah, it went smoothly. It turned out the main concern was her horse at the time. We
Right.
needed a place, something to do with it. And yeah, we found this place with a really nice stable.
Oh, that's really great. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you mentioned that was going to be an issue for Jamie, the girl that you were going to be switching with.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And that worked out. So
Yeah, I'm glad that obstacle didn't end up really mattering for you. You were saying before in our other interview that your mom was going to be coming up and helping you move. Did she come up and help around with that? Did you get to see her?
Yeah, she did. It was great. We had time to grab lunch.
That was awesome. Where did you guys go?
We went to the what's it called? The farmhouse.
Okay, yeah, the farm. That's great. Yeah, they have a really good cheese platter, I've heard. Yeah. That's good. It was good to spend time with your mom?
Yeah, it was great.
That's great. Yeah, and it was good to, I bet, not have to move your stuff all on your own.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. We talked a little bit last time about how there was going to be some construction going on, something about the bathroom or something like that. How did that go? Was that...
Yeah, it's still underway a little bit. They're not finished, but they're very timely and professional and not disruptive.
That's good. Usually they're a pain in the neck to deal with.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know moving can be a really stressful time. I'm glad that they're not adding to that.
Yeah.
You were, so there are some things that I want to go over as part of the termination process. I want to go over kind of what we're feeling around terminating our discussion here. Do you think you'll have someone to talk to about these kind of things?
Yeah, I think my friends and I have reached a place where we're comfortable just kind of being open about how we feel.
That's great.
About the whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I would really, I would feel kind of like I hadn't done my job if you didn't have someone that you could talk to, you know, about just everyday things like this. You know, it's nice to be able to get this stuff out. I want to talk about some past meetings that we've had and things that have gone on there. I liked at the one meeting that we had in the cafe down the street on Church Street.
Yeah.
I thought that one went really well. We talked a lot about acknowledging change and its inevitability.
Yeah.
Do you remember that meeting at all?
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was really helpful. It definitely, once again, it helped with the communication between my friends and how, just planning everything and sorting it out was really...
And I have to say, as a clinician, that feels very good knowing that I could be a part of that process. Now, let's talk a little bit about the future. So, moving is a very funny thing because when you move, you have to touch everything that you own. Moving is like taking everything that you own, all of the things that make up your life, and just putting them somewhere else. And it always kind of reminds me of how, it's just going to be a matter of time until we move again. Right. Have you kind of thought about that, like the process of, what you're going to do at the end of the semester and things like that?
A little bit, yeah. It's a strange thing to think about. I don't know yet if I'll be able to get out of Burlington right away, or if I'll have to go back home. But
well, that's kind of the unsure part about graduating.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. But I think I'm mentally prepared for whatever comes at me.
That's great that you feel that way.
Yeah.
How do you feel about like the uncertainty of it? Do you feel like at peace with it? Have you accepted it, or it does make you kind of anxious?
It definitely still makes me anxious, but I think I've kind of accepted that and learned to take it in stride a little bit.
Wow, that's really mature. That's good that you can be that way. Sorry to use all this technical jargon on you. Sometimes as a clinician, you get so caught up in the vocabulary of it.
Right.
But if I ever use any words that you are unsure about the meaning, you can just ask. We can talk about it. So that's good that you are feeling comfortable about the future. Do you have anything unfinished that is in existence in this relationship? Do you think that there's any stones that we've left unturned or anything like that.
No, at this point, I think we pretty much I've worked through everything that I needed to.
That's great. That's great. We've talked a lot about your friendship with Jamie and how you were worried and not really affected by being nervous about moving in and stuff like that. How did she really take to you kind of asking those questions? Because I know you were saying before in the other interview that it was kind of a concern of yours that you didn't want to annoy her, you didn't want to be too persistent. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, she seemed a little surprised, but I think she took it well, and once again, we were pretty open with our communication and all of that. So
yeah,
we got through everything.
Communication is a really important skill to have between friends.
Yeah,
it can a lack of communication can really quickly end a friendship. We've talked a little bit about you and how you are beginning to describe yourself. In our other interviews, you've said that you were plan oriented, that you really have your and Jamie's friendship in mind in all these exchanges that you've had with her. And I think that it's really great that you can identify yourself as that. How else do you see yourself as plan oriented? Like, what other aspects of your life, would make you call yourself plan oriented?
Well, the way I handle schoolwork, I think I'm good at scheduling how all of my main projects are finished across the entire course of the semester.
Right.
I've also, I've always been good about staying in touch with employers when there was going to be a foreseeable absence or
Great.
any adjustments I need them to make for me. So, yeah.
Well, I have to say it's a really great skill that you can see yourself in that way. I'd like to talk a little bit, since we're just trying to wrap things up here, around feedback. I'd like to know if you have any feedback for me as a clinician around just how we've met, what I can do better, things that you liked. I'd really like to hear some feedback from you around that.
Sure. I found that you were always available when I needed some opinions and aid with what I was doing. And you were available, and I think you've made me feel comfortable sharing with you what's going on. So.
I really appreciate that feedback, Andrew. That makes me feel very good to hear. Do you have anything that maybe I could do better with other clinicians? Like, for instance, if I interrupted you too much, or if I rushed you through any of our meetings, or...
I don't know about that stuff. Maybe if we maybe could have had more meetings where sort of I was guiding things a little bit more.
Oh, I understand. I understand that. I'm just going to take a note about that for a second.
Sure.
I honestly very much so appreciate this feedback because it helps me guide my best practice for future clients. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So you just thought that maybe there were some times where I tried to make it too much oriented about what I wanted to examine.
Yeah, sort of, and that maybe different things might have come out or been gone over if if it was more. If I had come in with my own plan.
I understand. Right. So maybe next time I can work with my clients about formulating a plan together.
Yeah.
That's some really great feedback, Angela. Thank you for that. I'd like to talk about future contact. Now, if I see you walking down the street after we terminate our business here, I'm not going to ignore you. I'm going to tell you that it's very good to see you again, and I'm going to let you know that I'm pleased to see how well you're doing because I know you're going to be doing very well. There are a few things that I can't do with you once we terminate our process here. It would be inappropriate for you and I, due to our relationship as a client to a clinician, it would be inappropriate for us to hang out. I think that it could be inappropriate to, go out for a movie or some dinner, just anything like that. And while I view you as a great person, someone who I would love to have that kind of relationship with, unfortunately, due to my position as the clinician, I can't have that happen.
I understand.
And I just wanted you to understand that so that, we don't really have any future awkwardness or anything down the road.
Right.
Great. So I was thinking that I had just something that I wanted to give to you, just as a little memento. You know, it didn't cost me anything, and it's just a little gesture. It's symbolic of our relationship together. I know during our meeting in the cafe, you were telling me about how much you love to draw, and so I got you your very own.
Nice.
Yep, I found it. It's a little rock. You can use that on sidewalks and things like that. And you know, I was walking and I picked it up, and I thought that you would appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Sure. MJ, I want to ask before I terminate us for the final time, if you have any questions or concerns around our future, anything that I haven't addressed or anything like that.
No, I think it's all pretty clear at this point.
All right, MJ. Well, I have to say it's been a pleasure
It's been a
working
pleasure.
with you, and I hope I've helped you out a little bit.
You have. Thank you.
It's really been a pleasure for me as a clinician to see you grow and just blossom into this young man with multiple successful relationships.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, MJ.